Why do I regret making this TBR video? Why? Why?
This is another book that I have added to my TBR. I don't know why, but I have and I have to read it. Oh no!
I am stuttering. I don't know about the main character, but I am stuttering in this video. Oh no, it's a classic. Hello, hi, welcome back to my channel Trishita Reads. I am Trishita and this video will be special for me because today I will be picking up the books that I will be reading in the month of July, and I have decided to pick 15 books.
I know that this TBR is going to be very ambitious.
But here is my TBR card. I have specially decorated my TBR today in this form so that it becomes more presentable to you guys, because I am a very messy girl when it comes to maintaining my bookshelf and it is all haphazard. It does not look representable at all, but here are the potential books that I want to read in near future, and I will be using a random number generator to pick up the books for this month. I have decided that I will select 11 books from this card, and I have a selection of Kindle Unlimited books that are in the form of chits here, and I will be picking up 4 books from this jar because I have realized that even though I have Kindle Unlimited subscription for a long time, I don't end up using my subscription. So let's get on and start with the video. Let me quickly count the number of books I have first in my shelf, then we will start rolling. So in total we have 46 books to work on this month. Let me spin the wheel. So the wheel looks like this. Let's roll for the first book. Five. Okay. This is the first book, A Long Walk to Water by Linda Sue Park. It is a very thin book. That's a plus point. So the story of this book is 11-year-old Salva is forced to flee his village when it comes under attack. Braving every imaginable hardship including killer lions and hungry crocodiles, he is one of the last boys traveling the African continent on foot in search of his family and safety. Oh. Naya goes to the pond 2 times a day to fetch water. It takes her 8 hours, but there is unexpected hope as these two stories set in Sudan, one unfolding in 2008 and one in 1985, go on to intersect in an astonishing and moving way. This book, even though seems very small, I think the story will be very impactful. I just saw this book in a very amazing discount on Amazon and I thought of getting this book. Generally, when buying books, I do not read blurbs. I do check the cover of the books definitely. I want to go as blindly as I can when I am reading a book so that I don't have any preconceived notion when it comes to the story or things like that. But I feel like this book is going to be very interesting and I'm very excited to read this book. This will take me, I guess, 2 hours maximum to read. So if I plan on doing a 24-hour readathon, I will definitely include this book in that. Seeing the size of my TBR, I definitely have to do a 24-hour readathon. Otherwise, I won't be able to finish this TBR. Coming to the second roll, here we go. Okay. The second book is Count Karlstein by Philip Pullman, and this cover is really gorgeous. I got this book from a fellow reader. This is a pre-loved copy, but the condition of this book is really nice. The blurb of this book is All Souls Eve is a night when nobody in the village of Karlstein dares to leave their homes. For that is the night that Zamail, the demon huntsman, prowls through the forests in search of his prey. This year, however, the huntsman doesn't need to go searching. He knows exactly where to find his human prey. 10 years ago, he made a deal with the Count of Karlstein, and now the demon huntsman has come to collect his prize. Count Karlstein has offered up the lives of his two young nieces, Lucy and Charlotte. Lucky for the orphaned sisters, the Count's maid, Hildy, had heard his evil plan and is determined that they will not be this year's prey, not on her watch. I did not think this book was this. I guess I will be picking this book first in the month of July. The premise sounds so interesting. It has horror element, it kind of has magic element also. It has that escaping element to it as well. I am kind of happy with my TBR now. Now it's time for the third roll. #21. Okay. So the third book that has been chosen by this wheel is something that I am least excited about, but here it goes. Never Never by Colin Hoover and Taryn Fisher.
I will give it a try.
Let's see what the book is about. Charlie Winwood and Silas Nash has been best friends since they could walk. Okay. Is it friends to lovers? They have been in love since the age of 14, but as of this morning, they are complete strangers. Their first kiss, their first fight, the moment they fell in love, every moment has vanished. Now Charlie and Silas must work together to uncover what happened to them and why. But the more they learn about the couple they used to be, the more they question why they were ever together to begin with. Forgetting is terrifying, but remembering might be worse.
Okay.
Seems like a okay-ish plot. I'm not excited about this book, but the fourth roll. It's raining outside now. #45. Okay. The next book is a chunky book, and I am so scared to pick this book up, but the cover is so pretty. Book's name is The Ghost Tree by Barbara Erskine. And look, this is such a beautiful cover, and it has all these silver work also. A hidden diary, a dangerous enemy, 5 generations of secrets. Left rootless by the death of her esteemed father, Ruth must tackle the daunting task of sorting through his possessions. Amidst the dust of his old life, she discovers a diary written by her ancestors Thomas. Soon, Ruth is pulled into a story she couldn't escape. Thomas is a boy with a particular gift who takes an extraordinary path to power, but Ruth has opened a dangerous door to the past, and an uninvited ghost is about to walk through it. There are ghosts in everyone's past, secrets in everyone's history.
Oh no. Oh no, these are small fonts. Shit.
See how chunky it is. It is very difficult to read small fonts. And this book is 580 pages long. This book has a lot of potential of dragging me into a reading slump, and the only good thing that I have found in this book for now is the premise. And I don't know whether the premise itself should be dragged to 580 pages. Now I am scared. The fifth roll. The weather is so nice outside. I thought of filming this video a few days before, so here we are. The fifth book is 16. The next book is a YA, and you all have heard about this book at some point of time. I was living under a rock. I did not read the book, and the book's name is Simon versus the Homo sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. Here is the pretty book, and I am very excited to read this book. The blurb of this book is Simon Spear is 16 and trying to work out who he is and what he is looking for. But when one of his emails to the very distracting Blue falls into the wrong hands, things get all kinds of complicated. Because for Simon, falling for Blue is a big deal. This book is, I guess, a gay romance, so it will be fun to read this book. It was a very popular book, and I am excited to finally read this book. So here is a good addition to my TBR for July. Coming to the sixth book, here we go. "32". Okay. The next book. Please don't kill me, Indian audience, okay? Please don't kill me. But it is A Touch of Eternity by Durjoy Dotto. It's a pretty cover. That's a good thing. Let's read the blurb and see what I have got my hands into. What if, when you say if it's forever, it actually is? Born on the same day and at the same time, Dhruvan and Anvesha know they are soulmates in every sense of the word. Their parents, however, refuse to accept their togetherness at first and try to tear them apart. But Dhruvan and Anvesha hold on to each other against all odds. In the meantime, the world is on the brink of a major scientific breakthrough that could make reincarnation possible. This is an opportunity for the two to prove their love and tell the world that love can make the impossible possible. Dhruvan and Anvesha participate in the experiment as if their lives depend on it, because they do. All that remains to be seen is, will a man dream to control love and life come true? And when the time comes, can they stay true to their soulmate? Hey, it was on my TBR. I had to read this. Let's move on to the next book. Now, the seventh book. "46". Okay. So the next book has a very, very beautiful cover. The book's name is The Witch's Boy by Kelly Barnhill, and how beautiful the illustration is. And it kind of matches with another book that is in my TBR. See, the color palette is the same, right? Somewhere close to each other. So let's read the blurb of this book. Quiet, stuttering Ned lives with his mother, Sister Witch, the village keeper of an ancient store of magic. It is unruly magic that only she can tame. Until the day the bandit king comes to steal the magic and it bolts out of its spot and into the wide world beyond. Thrown into a wide adventure, Ned must venture into the enchanted forest that borders his village, where he meets Annie, the bandit king's daughter. Oh, romance! Can she help him find his voice and a way to speak to the magic? A world, after all, is a kind of magic. Words call the world into being. That is power indeed. And Ned is not yet a powerful boy. Okay. This book seems nice. It has, again, elements of magic. And I guess when Ned will go in this journey, he will discover himself. And yeah, I am really excited to see what happens to Ned. And I don't know whether there will be a romance angle between Annie and Ned, but if there is, then this book will be a really nice experience for me. I am very excited to read this book, and let's move on to the next book now. Coming to the eighth book. Even though it's raining, it is very hot in here. I am sweating a lot. It's 31. I think I should remove all the classics from my TBR cart. Very, very, very few classics that I have enjoyed to the fullest, and I absolutely loved reading those books. I don't know whether I will like this book or not. I'm scared. Okay, let me show you the book first. The book's name is The Last of the Mohicans by J. Fenimore Cooper. Oh my, the font. This is the reason why I hate classics. See how small the fonts are. Why a reader will be interested in reading a classic until and unless it is not a part of our syllabus? Okay, keeping my rant aside, I will read the blurb first. Skirmishes, captures, fights, and rescues are only some of the ingredients of this classic tale of bloody conflict between the British and the French in the forests of North America. It also tells of the cynical exploitations of the native tribes by the two protagonists, setting Indian against Indian, Mohican against Huron. However, there is one honorable European, Natty Bumppo, the loyal and courageous woodsman, who prefers the simple code of natural law to the machinations of the white man. Together with Uncas, the last of the Mohicans, he helps the thwart of efforts of Magua, the sinister Huron who tries to prevent Alice and Cora Munro from joining their father, the British commander of Fort William Henry. This book has a little bit of Indian element to it, but I don't know. I don't know whether I will be reading this book this month or not. This TBR is now becoming a challenge for me. Coming to the ninth book. 35. Okay. Moving forward to the next book that is a reread for me is The Black Orphan by S. Hussain Zadi, and I absolutely adored the story. But I wanted to annotate this book. Let me share the blurb with you. A bold and daring cop, a passionate human rights lawyer, a deadly terror plot. It's love at first sight for DIG Ajay Rajvardhan of the National Investigation Agency when he sees attractive lawyer Aisha Khan in court. Representing a young woman, the NIA has arrested on charges of terrorism. Despite being on opposite sides, he specializes in taking down terrorists while she defends those wrongfully arrested by the authorities. He is unable to get her out of his head. Meanwhile, a serial killer is on the loose, murdering India's most famous nuclear scientists one by one. Time is running out for Ajay and his associates, Deputy Commissioner Sagar Pratap and Commissioner Neeraj Kumar, to find the mastermind behind these incidents. And something far worse is brewing in the bylanes of Mumbai. Even as Ajay and Asiya, I guess I spelled her name wrong before. Her name is Asiya, so forgive me for that. Even when Ajay and Asiya are drawn closer, a web of crime, deception, and intrigue weaves itself around them, threatens to take them down. And it is inspired by true events. This book has everything from thrill to love to terror. I know that there are few books in my TBR that will kind of disappoint me, but I am so hopeful for these kind of books and I look forward to July because I have these kind of books in my TBR. So let's move on to the next book now. And coming to the 10th book. Okay. This book is so gorgeous and I am very excited to read this book. I got this book gifted by HarperCollins and I'm so grateful to HarperCollins for gifting me this book. The book's name is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker, and can we have a moment of silence for this beautiful cover? How gorgeous it is. Let's read the blurb. He is fire and brimstone. I am shattered ice. I will gladly burn beneath him until the world comes crumbling down. As an assassin for the rebellion, Rave's job is to complete orders and never get caught. When a rival bounty hunter shatters her world, Rave finds herself captured by the Guild of Nobles, a group of powerful fae. Ooh! Crushed by the loss of his great love, Dragon Rider Khan Vegor took the head of a king and donned his melted crown. Now, on a tireless quest to quell the never-ebbing ache in his chest, a clue lures him into the capital high security prison where he stumbles upon the imprisoned Rave. Okay. Together, they seek truths that threaten to unravel everything they knew about the world and each other. Okay. This book has some amazing fantasy creatures like fae, dragons, assassins. I so hope that I end up liking it, and just look how beautiful it is. And coming to the final spin for this month, we have six. Okay. The book's name is Ramayana versus Mahabharata by Devdutt Pattanayak, and there's no blurb of this book as such because it does not need one. I guess it is basically a comparison between Ramayana and Mahabharata. And when it comes to Indian mythology and history, I am always interested. I am always hooked in these kind of stories. Now, since my physical TBR is finally done, I will select books from my Kindle Unlimited chits that I have here. Let's see what books I get. The first book that I got is The Teacher by Frida McFadden. Here is my Kindle. See how cute it is? When you have something by Frida McFadden in your TBR, you know that your TBR is complete. I am a big fan of Frida McFadden, and I absolutely loved all the books that I have read by her. But obviously there are more books by her that are coming out, that have already come out, that I have not read, and The Teacher is one of them. So let's read the blurb of this book together. Eva has a good life. She wakes up every day, kisses her husband Nate, and heads off to teach math at a local high school. All as it should be, except last year, Caseham High was rocked by a scandal involving a student-teacher affair with one student, Addie, at its center. But Eve knows there is far more than these ugly rumors that meets the eye. Addie can't be trusted. She lies, she hurts people, she destroys lives. At least that's what everyone says. But nobody knows the real Addie. Nobody knows the secrets that could destroy her, and Addie will do anything to keep it quiet. I am so freaking excited to read this book, and the tagline of this book is "It's a lesson she'll never forget." The second book that I am picking from this jar is The Law Attraction by Laura Carter. The cover is really cute. This is the romance between a lawyer and a chef, a hotshot Manhattan attorney. Drew Harrington knows exactly who he is. A legal shark with a love him and leave him attitude that works just fine with his cutthroat world. He is on the cusp of being named a partner in his firm, but only if he can prove to his colleagues that he has more human side. A sweetheart of a British patisserie chef, Becky Fletcher is running from her past, so the last thing she is looking for is love. What she does want is a friendly face in a cold city. Her sunny outlook is the perfect opposite to Drew's hard exterior, but can she afford to let down her guard? One fateful meeting at a bagel cart changes everything. They sound like a match made in heaven, or is it just a car crash? This sounds like a cute, fun love story, and I guess it is enemies to lovers or opposite attracts. Third book that I am picking from this jar is A Collar's Game by J.D. Parker. Here is the book A Collar's Game by J.D. Parker. I am going to offer you a choice. Controversial satellite radio talk show host Jordan Briggs has clawed her way to the top of the broadcast world. She doesn't hold back, doesn't spare feelings, and has no trouble sharing what's on her mind. Her rigorous pursuit of success has come at a price though. Her marriage is in ruins. She hasn't spoken to her mother in years, and she has distanced herself from all those close to her. If not for a young daughter, Charlotte, her personal life would be in complete shambles. When a subdued man calls into the show and asks to play a game, she sees it as nothing more than a way to kickstart the morning, breathe life into the beginnings of a drive time for her listeners. Against her producer's advice, she agrees and unwittingly opens a door to the past. Live on the air with an audience of millions, what starts out as a game quickly turns deadly. Events long thought buried resurface, and Jordan Briggs is forced to reconcile with one simple fact: all decisions have consequences. I can trust my man when it comes to picking up books for me. Thank you so much for picking this book up for me. The fourth book that I am officially picking for my TBR for the month of July is this The Girl Who Was Taken by Charlie Donnelly. The cover of The Girl Who Was Taken seems really nice. It screams of a thriller. Two abducted girls, one who returns, one who doesn't. The night they go missing, high school seniors Nicole Cutty and Megan McDonald are at a beach party in their small town of Emerson Bay, North Carolina. Police launch a massive search, but hope is almost lost until Megan escapes from a bunker deep in the woods. A year later, the best-selling account of her ordeal has made Megan a celebrity. It's a triumphant story except for one inconvenient detail. Nicole is still missing. Nicole's older sister Livia, a fellow in forensic pathology, expects that one day soon Nicole's body will be found and her sister's fate determined. Instead, the first clue comes from another body, that a very young man connected to Nicole's past. Livia reaches out to Megan to learn more about that fateful night. Other girls have disappeared, and she is increasingly sure the cases are connected. Megan knows more than she has revealed in her book. Flashes of memory are pointing to something more monstrous than she described. And the deeper she and Livia dig, the more they realize that sometimes true terror lies in finding exactly what you have been looking for. I am so excited that I am finally picking up books that I always wanted to read, but I keep on always forgetting from my Kindle Unlimited TBR. Okay, so these are all the books that I will be reading for the month of July. And if you want to see me reading and experiencing and sharing my views on these books, please go and subscribe to my channel and wish me luck so that I can finish all the books, because this is a huge TBR and I know that I have overwhelmed myself, but life is all about challenges, and when it comes to reading, I love doing reading challenges. This is what the channel is all about. Thank you so much guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.